You know, listen, I already didn't have much respect for Shannon Sharpe, but the man's an idiot. I'm sorry, the man's an idiot. But I'm react to this. I want to watch this, give my thoughts and opinions. You're going to hear how stupid this was. And just let me just play this. I got to cover half the screen. You know why. All right, hold up.
Every so often, the squirrel get a nut, huh? Every so often. This is good for the Jets. I like it. You finally got a win. Now you guys are 1-7. You know, whoop-de-doo.
Who they get a win against?
I mean,
you not finna get if you ain't won no games, your first win not coming against us. That's all I'm saying.
That's how you feel?
That's how I feel.
Hey,
you not finna get that hell that over my head.
Hey.
And we won one game all year. Who y'all beat?
Yeah, I mean, it's all good. It's embarrassing. It's
embarrassing. It is embarrassing. Yeah, you should feel ashamed of yourself.
I am. That's why I want to show my face, but I came anyway. And whatever, you know, is to come with that. You know, I'm gonna wear the egg on my face because I felt we was gonna win. Am I upset? Yes, I am. But right now I'm trying to control my emotions. I'm trying not to curse. I'm trying not to cry. It's too early to cry. There's no reason for it because it's like
let me tell you your problem. Joe Flacco looking for one guy. Let this sink in for a second. Let me tell you something. Listen to me. Jamar Chase had 19 targets. T. Higgins had 2. Noah Fant had 3. Your running back had 3 targets, caught 3 balls. Tanner Hudson had 2. Samaje Perine had 1. And Andre, how you always say, Ayasiva?
I just say Yoshi.
Yoshi. He had 3 targets. Oh, so you can't have that discrepancy. You can't have one guy have 19 targets and the second best receiver that you're paying $30 million to get 2 targets?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think obviously Joe being his 3rd week there and understanding what Chase was able to do last week and the previous week before that, I think that's why the comfortability in saying, you know what, when I know I got to get the ball in my hands, there's one person I feel that I can count on who is the best receiver in the league right now. That's Jamar Chase. So,
yeah, Shannon Sharpe is a complete dumb buffoon idiot, and we scored 38 points, Shannon. We scored 38 points. To put the loss on the offense is very idiotic. Now, yesterday I was pissed after the game, right? And I'm obviously very invested in the Bengals, right? So I have a very big investment here when it comes to my emotions. And I was ticked, and I said in the second half, it was embarrassing that Jamar Chase and T didn't have any receptions. Or Jamar had a couple receptions, T had pretty much nothing. And it was very embarrassing that Jamar Chase, T. Higgins couldn't get open and make plays. Now, obviously, the moment I was ticked off and looking back at it, it's like, okay, well, it is what it is. But that has nothing to do with our loss. We gave up 39 points, Shannon. 39 points. I don't care if Joe Flacco targets Jamar Chase 50 times a game. If we score 38 points, I don't care what he does. That does not matter. Him throwing to Jamar Chase over and over and over and over again does not matter. We put up 38 points. The problem is the defense. If our defense was exactly the same and Joe Flacco threw to every single other player on that field and he went left, right, and center, and he did exactly what Shannon says right here would be perfect, we still would have lost the game. The only difference is, what's his name? Jamar Chase wouldn't have as many receptions or targets. It doesn't change a damn thing. This is why, again, I understand why Shannon gets moved off different, shows and he gets moved off different things because he's an idiot. He's an idiot. I'm sorry. He's an idiot. He's not invested in the Bengals, so he's not saying this from an emotional standpoint. He's not saying this from a, mental standpoint where he's invested in the team. Obviously, Ocho is invested in the team. But at the end of the day, he didn't even have to say Yoshi. Now, I'm going to butcher it too, so I'm not going to say it. But Andre Yoshevich. I probably butchered that too, but at least I said it better than freaking Shannon Sharpe. Okay? Point is, also Yoshi has been absolute dog water. But that's another thing. Like, what do you want him to throw less targets to Jamar Chase? Throw more to Yoshi. Yoshi drops everything that's thrown his way. How's that going to work out? T. Higgins doesn't get open half the time, it seems like. How is that going to work out? And if you listen to Jamar Chase at the very end of the game, his press conference, he even says that pretty much the second half of that game, they kept doubling over and over again Chase and T. They kept doubling those two guys. So you're just going to throw the ball to T now because he's doubled, but you want to get the ball to him? The problem in that game had nothing to do with Joe Flacco. The problem in that game had nothing to do with Jamar Chase. The problem in that game had nothing to do with T. Higgins. Had nothing to do with Chase Brown. Had nothing to do with Samaje Perine. Had nothing to do with Noah Fant or anything else on the offense. The problem with that game was the defense. And to say, oh, well, this is going to cost you. I mean, literally, look at the, pull this right here. It says, tough loss. Bengals, Ocho reacts to the tough loss, blah, blah. Unk, which is Shannon Sharpe, saying Flacco's obsession with Jamar is costing them. Flacco's obsession with Jamar Chase is costing them. No, it's not. No, it's not in any way. If our defense played even a slight bit of what they should do in that game, we would have won the game. And that's just a fact. There's nothing to do. There's nothing wrong with Jamar Chase getting as many targets or receptions as he's getting. He's the best receiver in football for a reason. And guess what? At the end of the day, if you're Joe Flacco, where do you throw the ball? You throw it to your best receiver. You throw it to the best receiver in football. And that's what you do. There's nothing wrong with that. This is just stupidity. Stupid comments as always from Shannon Sharpe, the idiot himself. It doesn't even make logical sense. Who watches Shannon Sharpe and goes, oh, that's so true. If the Bengals would just have not thrown to Jamar Chase more, then somehow the defense would not have given up 38 points. 39 points, excuse me. 39 points. Just idiot. Just an absolute idiot. I feel bad for Ocho. I really do, because I love Ocho. I absolutely love him. And he has to work with this idiot. This absolute buffoon. Giving a take of, well, it's an obsession with Jamar Chase. And you have an obsession with OnlyFans, girl. But we don't talk about that, though, huh? You got a little obsession with OnlyFans, girls, Shannon, but we don't talk about that. Got sued for that one, buddy. Anyway, allegedly. He allegedly has an obsession with OnlyFans, girls. Let me say it like that. Everything is alleged. I'm not saying it a direct fact. I'm not saying a direct statement. I take back any idea that I was alleged. I don't want to get sued by Shannon Sharpe, but everything's alleged.